Hello students, 同学们好. This is Miss Ran here. Welcome to our Week 10 Chinese online learning session. To be able to complete today's task, you will need to have your Chinese book ready, okay? So in the previous lesson, we have opened a brand new unit, Sharing the Planet. Today, we are going to firstly revisit the central idea and the lines of inquiry which we talked about in our previous lesson, and we are going to start talking about the other contents. So the central idea for this unit is traditional festivals reflect people's culture and beliefs. Yep, that's what we've been through in the previous lesson. And also in this unit, we are going to explore form, function, connection, and causation, such as traditional festivals and important dates in China, vocabulary to express days, months, and days of the week, okay? And function, how people celebrate these festivals, and also connection, the origins of the traditional festivals and how they relate to customs of the traditional festivals, and also causation, why people celebrate the traditional festivals and what are the culture and beliefs behind it, right? So today, in today's lesson, we are going to look at all of them, okay? Let's have a look. Our learning intentions today, okay, there are two of them. Firstly, which is related to form, okay, students will learn how to say and write months and dates in Chinese, okay? And secondly, students will learn how and why people celebrate the Spring Festival, okay? And this is related to function and causation. Now, how do we know that if we achieved the learning outcomes, okay? Successful criteria. Here we go. Firstly, I can say and write from January to December in Chinese. That is the first thing we need to achieve today. And secondly, I can create a poster to inform people about the Spring Festival. So I think this is going to take you some time. You don't have to finish it today, but, just anytime in week 10, if you have time, just, sit down and put the poster together and just submit it before Friday. That would be lovely. I'll talk through the guidelines and requirements in a minute. So in the previous lesson, we were looking at the different names of these different festivals and try to work out how to say festival in Chinese, right? Let's see if students can still remember. For example, 复活节, that is for Easter. 复活节. And then for the Anzac Day, it is 军人节. For example, for Christmas, it's 圣诞节. And then for the Spring Festival, we call it 春节. And here we have people doing the dragon boat and also eating the Chinese rice dumplings, 粽子. Therefore, we call this festival 端午节, which is the dragon boat fest. And lastly, we have the lunar festival, or what we call Mid-Autumn Festival, okay? It is called 中秋节, right? So, very obviously, how we say festival in Chinese is this repetitive character here, okay? 节, 节 is the character to say festival. J-I-E, 节, second tone. 节, okay, and here's how we write it. You should have this in your Chinese book already, hey? Okay, so today we're actually going to look at how we write one of the most important festival in China, okay? Here we go. 春节, it's the Spring Festival, which is also the Chinese New Year, right? Okay, so 春 here, C-H-U-N, 春, first tone. Second tone, 节, 春节, okay? That is Spring Festival. So can I please get students to write down on your Chinese book, okay, the pinyin of the Spring Festival and the characters of the Spring Festival as well.
Alright, let's write it together with Miss Ran. So please open a new page on your Chinese book, and then we are going to do the Spring Festival together. Oops. We put down the pinyin first, 春节, okay? And then we are going to do the correct strokes for 春 and 节 here. 春 starts with a horizontal stroke, the second one shorter, and then a longer one. Well, that is the character for 3, right? And then downstroke to the left, downstroke to the right. Yeah, still following? And then we are going to do the sun radical at the bottom. That is the character for 春, which means spring. And then 节, we've learned it in the previous lesson. Horizontal stroke, and then 2 vertical stroke here, and then turning hook, vertical stroke. 节, which means festival. Okay?
Feel free to pause the video if you need more time to write the characters, okay? So next, we are going to look at a sentence together, which is also about 春节, the Spring Festival. Let's read the sentence together. 1月1日是春节. One more time. 1月1日是春节. 1月1日是春节. Okay, so obviously here 春节 we've learned it already, which means Spring Festival. But what does the rest of the sentence mean? Okay, do you have any clues so far? Okay, so 1 and 1 here we have already learned, right? It is a number. Which number is it? Wow, it is the number 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, just 1. And 春节, obviously, it is the Spring Festival. Okay, so what do you think this sentence is trying to say? 1 something, 1 something, something, Spring Festival. Okay. If Spring Festival has got anything to do with numbers, the first thing that would come into my mind is probably about dates, okay, which is also relevant to, what we were talking about in the lines of inquiry, right? So let's have a look. Miss Ran's going to give you some hints, okay? So 是 here, we've actually learned it in year 4. Do you remember? Okay, 是, what does 是 mean? I'll give you some hints. 这是我爸爸. This is my dad. 这是我妈妈. This is my mom. 这是谁? Who is this? Okay, what is the one word that is repetitive in all these 3 sentences that I just said? I think, yes, very obvious. It is. Okay, so 1 something is the Spring Festival. Alright, so now let's have a look at the meaning of 月 and 日. So 月 here actually means month, and 日, it means day. Okay, so if we put the sentence together, 1月1日是春节, 1 month, 1 day is Spring Festival. This is, the literal meaning of the sentence, word by word. Okay, but if we translate it just word by word here into English, it does sound a bit odd and it doesn't really make sense. 1 month, 1 day is Spring Festival. So I think we need to twist the meaning here for a little bit so that the sentence can make sense. Okay? When we put yi and yue, one and month together, it actually doesn't mean 1 month. It means the first month of the year, which is January. Okay? And we are going to have a look at the character yue together. So remember Miss Ran was talking about Chinese characters, how a lot of the Chinese characters are pictographs, which means they look like a picture, okay, that people draw to represent the object that they see in real life. So these are different versions of the Chinese characters, and these are the more like ancient versions of the character yue, and this is the modern version of it. Okay, so from the ancient versions we can see that the shape of these characters are actually more like, do you remember? We actually learned this character when we were in year 4. Okay, it is the character for the moon. Yes, it's the moon. Okay, so gradually, the shape of the character moon, okay, has turned into this, which is a lot more standardized instead of looking like a picture. It is easier for people to write and carve. So people might say, okay, Miss Ran, how does the character moon becomes the character month? Okay, why the meaning of the character changed? Okay, so sometimes in Chinese characters, okay, one character can mean several different things. And if I'm looking at these two meanings, I can actually see that they're related. But you might ask Miss Ran, how does moon and month are related to each other? Well, we've mentioned about the Chinese lunar calendar briefly in the previous lesson. So in China, people use both calendars. One is the Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar we use here in Australia and in, lots of different parts of the world, right? But Chinese people also use what we call the Chinese lunar calendar. Okay, so the lunar calendar is used for people to celebrate and remember Chinese traditional festivals. And a lot of the Chinese farmers are still using the lunar calendar to determine when is the best time to plant their seeds, when is the best time for them to harvest, and things like that. So the Chinese lunar calendar was developed by ancient Chinese people according to the changing phase of the moon. So the new moon, which is the crescent in the sky, signifies the start of the month, and the full moon comes out in the middle of the month. Until the moon disappears in the sky, the cycle of the changing phase of the moon lasts about 30 days, and they define this cycle as 1 month. Therefore, do you now understand why moon is related to the meaning month in Chinese? What I want our students to do now is to write down this new word, yue, which means the moon or month, okay, in our Chinese book. Let's do it together.
So firstly, we write down the pinyin for yue, 4th tone. And then here, stroke by stroke, we are going to write the character for yue. Firstly, we have a downstroke to the left, and then we have a turning hook, and then inside we have 2 horizontal strokes to attach to the left hand side. Okay, done. And it means moon or month. Okay?
So if January, which is the first month, is 1月, do you think we can use the other numbers to go with the character 月 to represent the other months? So Miss Ran has put in the number chart here to help you work out the different numbers to go with 月 to represent from January to December. Okay. I'm going to need you to open your Chinese book again, and then we are going to write down the different months in Chinese characters.
So let's open your Chinese book again. Underneath 月, okay, we are going to write the months from January to December together. Okay, so I'm going to just write the English down first. So the first one is January. And the second one is February. Third one is March. Fourth one is April. The fifth month is May. And then the sixth month is June. After that, the seventh month we have July. The eighth month we have August. The ninth one is September. 10th one is October. 11th, November. And lastly, December. Okay. So with January, we have 1 yi to go with 月. Right? Okay. If you're not quite sure with the pinyin, I suggest you to put it on as well. 1月. February, obviously, is the second month. Then we go with the character 2, right? 2月. 2 month, which is February. March, 3月. The character for sun, 1, 2, and 3 月. Right? April, 4月. 4. Vertical stroke, turning stroke, down stroke to the left, turning stroke, close the window, and then 月 again. And then May, 5月. 5. We do a T, turning stroke, horizontal stroke, and then 月. June, which is number 6, 6月. 6 dot, horizontal stroke, another dot, and then another dot. Here. 6月. July. And now let's write July. July, which is the 7th month, we go with number 7, 7, QI, and 月, YUE. 7, horizontal stroke, swan hook, and 月. August, Number 8. 8月 looks like a volcano. 月 September, the 9th one. 9月 And then October, which is the 10th month. 10 S-H-I 10 月 Okay, the cross and then 月 November and December. Okay, November, which is the 11th month. How do we write 11 in Chinese? Okay, so I think we need the number 10 and we need the number 1. Okay, so 10 and 1, 1 and then 月 10 1 月 And lastly, December 12 is 10 and 2 and 月 Therefore 12月 Okay, all done. Let's read from January to December all together. Okay, please repeat after Miss Ran. 1月 1月 2月 2月 3月 3月 4月 4月 5月 5月 6月 6月 7月 7月 8月 8月 9月 9月 10月 10月 11月 11月 12月 12月 And we can actually learn a song to try to memorize from January to December. Okay, you all know that song, one circle, one big circle, right? So we can actually sing the Chinese version of it with the months. 1月 2月 3月 4月 5月 6月 7月 8月 9月 10月 11月 12月 没有13月 So 没有13月 actually means we don't have the 13th month, okay? Because there's only from January to December, which is 12 months in a year, okay? 没有13月 There is no 13th month, okay? Let's sing it one more time. Do you want to just join me, okay? 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1月 2月 3月 4月 5月 6月 7月 8月 9月 10月 11月 12月 没有13月 Okay?
So if we come back to this sentence here, 1月 here we've sorted this out, which means January. And then 1日 I think that is the date part. Okay, and now let's sort this part out. So 1日 one and day. It actually doesn't mean one day when you put 1日 together with the month. It actually means the first day of the month. Okay? Now we are going to have a look at the character 日. It is also a pictograph, which means the character itself looks like the shape of the object. Okay? So here we go. 日. Okay. This character here is the modern version of the 日 character. But if we go back in time, okay, remember we've learned this character again in year 4 when we were talking about the pictographs and, the histories of characters. So this one, in the old days, people draw a circle and then put a dot in the middle. Okay, that is how originally the 日 character was written. Okay, but gradually, they changed the shape of the character and make it more square-like. Okay, and if we follow it stroke by stroke, here is how we write the Chinese character for 日. Okay, and therefore 日 originally it means the sun. Okay, but students might ask Miss Ran again, how come the character sun has become the meaning day? Okay, well, that has got something to do with the definition of day in Chinese as well. So one day is when the sun from going up from the horizon till it goes down, and then until it rises up again, okay, from the horizon the next day, that is one big circle, okay, that is one big cycle. So this cycle, we defined it as one day, okay, and it's got something to do with the movement of the sun, and therefore that is how the meaning of the sun and day are related to each other.
And again, please open your Chinese book and we are going to write the character 日 together. So in the middle here, we put down the pinyin for 日. And then we are going to draw the character for 日. So a vertical stroke and then a turning stroke. Inside the box, we have a horizontal stroke. And then lastly, we close the box. And if some of the strokes are not linked together, please just make sure they do. That's the character for 日, and the meaning is the sun or day. Okay?
So now we are going to do a little writing exercise here and see if we can combine the two concepts, okay, of the month and then the day of the month, okay? So say for example here we have 1st of January, okay, and the answer for that is 1月1日, the character 1, month, and then 1 and day, right? And now let's see if we can work out how we can write the 26th of January, the 8th of March, and the 15th of August. Okay, now there's one thing that Miss Ran would like to remind you. You see here how the 1st of January, although in English we put the day of the month first and then the month next, but in Chinese, always remember that we need to put the month first and then the day of the month after that. Okay? So therefore, when you're writing the 26th of January, you know that you need to be writing January first and then the 26th day. Okay? And same as here, 8th of March, you need to be writing March first and then the 8th day. And then same here with the 15th of August, you need to be writing August first and then the 15th day. Okay? You can pause the video here, work out your answer, and then again you can resume the video and then check your answer. Okay?
Alright, let's have a look at how we should write the dates. Okay? So the first one here, which is the 26th of January. How should we do that? Okay, and the second one was the 8th of March. The last one was the 15th of August. All right, here we go. So with the 26th of March, okay, we need to be writing January first, and that is 1月, right? And then 26 is 2, 10, and 6, which is 26. Okay, and then don't forget the character that we just learned, which is 日, which means day. Okay, and now let's do the character. So 1月, that's January, and then 26, that is 26, and then 日, which means day. Therefore, January the 26th. Okay? Now, the 8th of March, here we go. So, March is the third month of the year, which is 3月. Okay? And then the 8th, 8 is 8, and then day is 日. Okay? 3月8日. Okay? And then the 15th of August, we need to write August first. August, which is the 8th month of the year, and therefore we need the number 8, 8, and then the character, the 月. And then 15th, 15 is 10, 10, and 5, 15, which means 15. And then day, 日, right? So 8月15日. Ta-da! Here are the correct answers for the 3 different dates. Again, we all have to write the months before the days of the month, okay?
So if you have just completed this writing exercise here, you would have achieved today's first learning intention, which is I can say and write the different months and days in Chinese. Okay? Great. Excellent. So now, if we come back to this sentence here, you will know the meaning of each part of the sentence. 1月, which is January. 1日, which means the first. 是 is 春节, Spring Festival. January the 1st is the Spring Festival. Okay? Now, let's write down this sentence together.
So firstly, we do 1月. 1月, January. 1日, the first. 是, which means is. And then 春节, Spring Festival. Okay, now we are going to write the characters together. 1月 1日, and then the character 是, have a look. We have the sun radical at the top, and then a horizontal stroke, and then a vertical stroke, and then a little horizontal stroke sticking out here, and then down stroke to the left, and then down stroke to the right. You got it? 春节 3, down stroke to the left, down stroke to the right, and then again the sun radical and 节. Okay, don't forget the full stop, which is the Chinese full stop. It's a little circle, okay? And let's write down the meaning as well. 1月, which means January. 1日 is the first, okay? Is Spring Festival. Awesome.